This chapter of our Total Training InDesign CS6 Essentials course deals with the basics of creating documents with Adobe InDesign. We'll cover the basics of document production, setting up pages, placing text and graphic elements on those pages, printing them, and moving elements between InDesign documents. We'll demonstrate that by creating a simple business card-based flyer that's built on Total Training graphic elements.
To create that card flyer that I showed you in the introduction, we need to first create a new document. Now, of course, we could do that by clicking on this Create New Document button in our welcome screen, but we're going to do that a little bit differently. We're going to go to the File pull-down menu and select the New Document menu command. Since I'm working on the Macintosh platform today, the keyboard shortcut for that, as shown on the right, is Command-N. If you were working on a Windows system, that keyboard shortcut would be Control-N. I'm going to click on that button now, and it'll open up the New Document dialog box where we can set up the layout for our new InDesign document. Now, of course, the New Document preset is default. We haven't set any new ones. We'll do that before we get away today. The intent of that, of course, is for print. The number of pages we're going to print on the front and the back of the business card, so we'll make that 2 pages. And since they're not going to be sitting side by side as they would be if you were opening a magazine, we can turn off that facing pages option. We're going to change the document width from 8.5 to 3.5 inches. And we're going to change the height from 11 inches to 7 inches. That's the layout that we have for our business card flyer. The number of columns is 1, and the margins by default, of course, are set at 1/2 inch all the way around. That's far more than we'd need for designing a typical business card. We have that little link button selected, so we can change just one of these edit boxes, and all the rest of them will change the same way. I'm going to use the arrow tools here to change this from 1/2 inch down to 1/8 inch, or 0.125 inches all the way around the document. Now, as I showed you in the introduction, there is going to be a bleed on both sides of our business card, so we need to allow for a bleed area. We've got that right down here in the bleed and slug area if you have that More Options button selected. If you don't, just click on that button and that'll bring that back, just like so. I'm going to take that bleed area and I'm going to make that 0.125 inches, and then I'm going to hit the Tab key. Again, because that link button is selected, when I change one of the edit boxes, it's going to change all of them to be exactly the same way. Now, in this case, I want to save a custom preset. So I'm going to click on that. And what I'm going to do is, instead of naming this the Document Preset 1 Default, is I'm going to name it TT for Total Training, Card, Flyer. And I'm going to click the OK button. And when I do that, that's what shows up in my Document Preset options box. So if you have the same settings that I have right here, the intent is for print, the number of pages is 2, the document width is 3.5 inches, and the height is 7 inches. We have just one column. We have 1/8 inch margin all the way around our InDesign document, and we've allowed for 1/8 inch bleed area all the way around our document. We're ready to begin. Click the OK button, like so, and we'll create our InDesign card flyer document.